Bees, I'm Marie from Humblebee and Me, and today we are making something I'm really quite excited about. It is a frosted cranberry matte cheek and lip color. This formulation is kind of like a hybrid between a long-wearing matte liquid lipstick and a lip stain. It's got quite a lot of that long-wearing transfer resistance that you expect from a matte liquid lipstick, but I find that it's quite a lot more comfortable and wears more naturally, so more like a lip stain on that side of things. We'll be making the base today and then dividing it up and creating 4 different cranberry inspired shades. And of course, this is one of them. If you'd like to learn more about this formulation, I've included a lot more details in the partner blog post, as well as the entire formulation all written out and links to places to buy all of the ingredients. So as always, that is linked in the description box below my videos, but let's go make this gorgeous lip color. We'll begin by mixing up the ingredients for our base. You'll need 13.7 grams of TKB Trading's Mousse Medium base. This versatile base gives our formulation its creamy, long-wearing foundation. It is only available from TKB Trading. It's one of their proprietary products. For improved wear time and transfer resistance, you'll need 2 grams of TKB Trading's Film Fix. If you'd like to learn more about Film Fix or Mousse Medium, I do have encyclopedia entries on them over at humblebeeandme.com, so head over there and check them out. So those 2 ingredients are it for our wet fluid ingredients. Up next, I've got 3 different powdery ingredients. You'll need 2 grams sericite mica and 1 gram of white kaolin clay. The sericite mica and kaolin clay help thicken up the formulation, and they're also a really big part of the gorgeous cream to powder skin feel. The last ingredient in our base is silicone elastomer, and you're going to need 0.2 grams of this. Silicone elastomer is a new to me ingredient this year, and honestly, it's kind of like a cheat code for making gorgeous, rich, silky cream cosmetics. I absolutely adore it, and if you like making makeup, I highly recommend purchasing some. There's an encyclopedia entry on it in the Humblebee and Me encyclopedia as well, if you'd like to learn more. So up next, we need to stir all of this together. Kind of wishing I'd chosen a slightly larger vessel. The little cup that I'm working in is just a little disposable plastic cup. It's got gradated measurements on the side, but I never use those. I do everything by weight. And so each of these cups weighs approximately 1 gram, so they work really well if you are formulating on a scale that has a very low maximum weight. I make almost all of my color cosmetics in these little cups. They're just brilliant for mixing up really highly pigmented formulations, and the fact that they're kind of squeezy and really lightweight makes it really easy to get in there and mix everything up and then transfer everything into your containers. This little tool is made by the Badger Airbrush Co. If you'd like to learn more about it, there's an entry on it in the Humblebee and Me encyclopedia. I find it very useful for making color cosmetics, but I don't use it for much else because it's really good for really small batches of things, and color cosmetics are about the only thing that I make in batches small enough for it to be a useful tool. So this is our base, and now we're going to divide it into 4 and make 4 different colors. So I have prepared 4 different blends of dry pigments in these little cups, and I will provide information on exactly what is in each of them in the description box below this video and in the partner blog post. For each of these, we'll need 4.725 grams of the base, and they each contain 0.275 grams of pigment, which works out to 5.5% of the overall formulation. And then our last step is blending the color into each of our little things, and then we'll get to see the final color result for each of them. Once you have a nice uniform mixture, you are ready to package. I am using this 5 milliliter dough foot tube from TKB Trading. I really like these specific ones because the mouth is really wide, and so combined with this spoon, I can really just get right down in there and then kind of wipe the product off on the side of the container. Makes them pretty easy to fill compared to some of the dough foot or wand applicators that I have worked with in the past. Label this as number 1, and let's carry on. We'll save this for swatching later. Now it's time for some swatching. So here we've got number 1. This is the one that is just carmine. Number 2, this one is carmine and red 33. This one is number 3, the one that contains some red iron oxide. And then this one is number 4. So this is one that's basically number 2, but uses red number 7 instead of carmine. Now that the swatches have had a chance to dry, I want to show you how transfer resistant they are. So I've got a sheet of white paper towel here. Just kind of give that a little bit of a press. You can see that really not much coming up on that. So these aren't completely transfer proof if you get in there and you really sort of abrade them, but they are transfer resistant. And I find that they wear really beautifully and naturally. Well, that's how wonderfully easy it is to make a frosted cranberry matte lip and cheek color. So I think it's time for an application demo. All right, application demo time. So this here is number 4, the one with red number 7 and red 33. So this is really quite potent. So we're going to start with using it as a cheek color. Be very sparing with your application of it, as a little goes quite a long way. You can, of course, reduce the color potency by reducing the concentration of powdered pigment in the formulation and replacing it with more mousse medium. I think that's a good level of blushy flush for now. So let's move on to a bit of lip application. So I like to apply a bit with the brush and then smooth it into place with a fingertip, which will end up being a rather pink fingertip, or with a clean lip brush. For a stronger color punch, I really recommend applying several thin layers rather than going in for one great big thick layer. As with all liquid lipsticks, you will want to give this a few minutes to dry down before sort of carrying on with your day. And I did want to just pull up my arm here. This is the arm that we did the swatches on earlier in the video. I have washed this hand with hand wash, the candlelight hand wash actually, twice. And you can see that there's definitely still some trace of the swatches left on there, so it wears pretty well. Once the product has had a chance to dry down for a few minutes, we can do a little bit of the back of the hand test. Pretty good. It is not completely transfer proof, but it does wear really quite well, and I find is a lot more comfortable than many kind of cream and liquid lip products that really boast being transfer proof. I find that the trade-off there, I'll choose comfort over completely transfer proof. That said, if you are looking for something that is completely transfer proof, I did tease a formulation that I'm working on a few videos back, so stay tuned for that. That'll probably be out sometime in early 2022. All right, so it's been an hour since I put the lip color on. I've been drinking this mug of tea, some lip prints, but nothing crazy. So that's an hour in. My lips are getting a bit dry because just Calgary winter, so pop on a little bit of lip gloss. So the gloss will decrease the wear time of the formulation a bit, just as a lip balm would with this type of formulation, but I'm happy to sacrifice a bit of wear time for comfort, especially because this lip color reapplies so beautifully. So I'll check back with you in another hour. All right, we are now 2 hours in on this lip color. I still think it looks pretty darn good. I'm not going to reapply right now because I am going to go have some lunch. Definitely need to reapply after that though. So see you soon. It's now been 3 hours since application and I had lunch in the intervening hour. So definitely ready for a bit of reapplication. But something I wanted to draw your attention to is how the lip color wears off relatively evenly, so you don't end up with still very colorful outer lips and then naked inner lips. Like there's still some color there for sure, but it's not this really stark contrast. So I find it's just kind of a little bit easier to get away with having it wear off and not needing to be kind of babysitting the color. But now we can reapply, and something else I love about this for reapplication is that you don't have to like scrub it all off and start with a clean slate. It layers up on itself pretty well. So there we are, that's a 3 hour reapply right on top, and yeah, I'll keep checking in with you until dinner time. All right, it has now been 2 hours since the post-lunch reapplication. You can see that it still looks pretty darn good. If you get really up close, it's obvious that it isn't freshly applied, but I think from any sort of conversational difference, it still looks real good. But at this point in time, I'm just kind of tired of wearing lip color, so I'm gonna cut the what's it off now. You should have, I hope, a pretty good idea of how long it wears and sort of how it wears off and how well it wears and all those good things. But yeah, thank you so very much. If you have any questions about this formulation, please make sure you are reading the full partner blog post first. There's a ton of extra information there, including links to places to buy all of the ingredients. But yeah, thanks so much, and I'll see you later.